Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 171 North 1st Street here in Carlton. We're located at the, as you're looking at it from the street, we're on the left side of the house. We're at the front, just to the right of the front door though. Going through the 4-inch cast iron clean out here on the stack. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running. Here we go. And it looks like it transitions here over to ABS plastic immediately upon access. And we've zeroed the camera counter out right at the base of that stack there. We've got a long line here. We're going to keep the camera moving fairly quickly just to get all the way out. We'll bring it in slower though. In fact, what we're going to do here, we've got a secondary clean out. I'm going to drain the line out for a moment. We're going to reel back and we're going to move to the secondary clean out. It's going to be a much easier shot from there. All right, we're here at the secondary clean out. It's a 6-inch clean out just in front of the house a little ways, or off to the left of the kind of walkway up to the door. And we're going to move up to that. We do have the line drained out now, so we're going to check out this first 28 feet, and then we're going to move up to the secondary clean out there. Just a much easier point of access, less turns and stuff to shove the camera through. And right where we hit that secondary clean out, it transitions there over to 6-inch diameter PVC pipe. Alright, first 28 feet here, all the cast iron, ABS, and the small bit of PVC we just scoped, they're all in good condition, draining very nicely and functioning properly at this time. We're going to now move up to the other clean out. Alright, we're now moved up here to the secondary clean out, and I'll show this here. It's a big black 6-inch ABS clean out here, just in front of the walkway. We started over there at the front left corner of the house, as we're looking at it from this way anyway. I just made the transition there over to, looks like clay pipe, 6-inch diameter. And I think we're going to see a tie-in here at some point. We had sounded like another house connecting into it when I first, there it is right there. So that right there is a tie-in from what appears to be, it's coming in from the left side as you're looking at the house or the property from the street. It looks like it's coming from this building here that's just adjacent to the left of this building. We had a little bit of ABS plastic pipe there, and we're back into the clay now. We've got roots here at 33 feet. So in a circumstance like this with being a shared line, I would recommend looking into how the city is divvying up responsibility here. And then right here at 38 feet, we have hit appears to be the main lateral connection. So I'm going to go do locates to see where this is at, and then we'll let the pipe drain out completely before reeling back in here. And it looks like, I'm trying to look at the top of the pipe over here, that might just be staining. But that's in the main lateral there. I can't tell if that's roots or what that is, that white stuff across the way. Okay, so I pushed into the main lateral here just a little bit, just to get an idea of where this main is situated. Just in front of the driveway, where the fork in the driveway is that splits to go to this house. and or to the neighbor's next door. The main is running directly across that in a fashion where it looks like it's actually going to go right underneath the building here, the city building. So I would just recommend contacting the city or looking into how responsibility is divvied up here. We do have a shared line with the neighbor next door, so it's worth checking into that, find out how the city deems the responsibility in a circumstance like this. Not quite as clear as in most circumstances. So we've got a slight offset here. For the most part, most of this clay pipe is still doing its job. It's a little wonky. We've got a root intrusion here, which I do recommend correcting. I'm going to put a marking right here. But before you do that, contact the city and find out how responsibility is divvied up. It's possible that now that at this point here that it's shared, both the neighbor and this house are draining through this particular spot here by this point. So this might not be a homeowner issue. It could be city. You want to look into that. But I am going to put a white paint marking on the ground here. Recommend the repair to correct the root intrusion. So in a circumstance like this with a line that's as old as this is, you're probably better off, rather than to spot repair a very old sewer line as it is, in my opinion, your money is better spent in doing something like an epoxy liner or something like that, or just to roll that amount of money into updating this clay pipe so that you have a fully updated line. It's much more cost effective that way. If you spot repair an old line like this, there's a very good chance in the not too distant future you might have to be doing some other updates and stuff to it as well. So just keep that in mind. All right, located the camera head here at the root intrusion. I've got a small white X in the driveway, or about 6.5 feet deep here. Do you recommend correcting that? Right here at about 28 feet, we might have it. Unfortunately, the way my camera's oriented right now, we get kind of a tough look at it, but I think we might have cracked pipe. We're at a joint right here at this point, and I'll back up about 6 inches, and you'll see another line in the pipe. That appears to be a crack. Now, this is a line. We'll see if we have any standing water on our way out here. If not, we have another root intrusion. As long as we don't have any standing water and very minor shifting at the joints, this would be a good candidate to do a pipe liner on. We'll see though. We've got roots coming out of that joint there, and they're kind of growing backwards down the pipe. And we might have one that's just starting to come through right here at this point too. It's kind of hard to, yeah, we've got roots from 23 feet out. And it looks like also a crack in the pipe. We've got another X marking down the ground here. They're about 6 feet, very similar depth as in the that furthest out root intrusion. And this water here we're seeing is flowing water. I think the neighbor next door has been running water this whole time, it looks like. So much of that does not appear to be standing water, which is ideal if you're going to do a trenchless repair. This is going to be our spot here with almost the most water. It's difficult, just given this little lip here and that Y connection, that's a spot where you may not be able to do at least an epoxy liner. Anyway, I'm going to put a marking here just to indicate where the Y connection comes in from the neighbor's house. I'm going to put a Y marking on the ground here just to indicate that for reference purposes. And we are just about to reel the camera out of the ground here. We've got the roots from 23 feet to 32 feet. There's 3 root intrusions in that span of pipe. We also have looks like a crack in the pipe there in between that, but the line is still functioning for the most part there. I don't know if any water is escaping through that crack. That part I can't tell. You'd have to do soil testing. My assumption, though, is as tight as that crack is there, if it's losing any water, it's probably a very, very small amount. Anyway, due to the fact we've got roots from 23 feet to 32 feet and a crack in between, I do recommend that section be updated. But all that is after it has been Y connected with the neighbor. So you want to make sure you find out how responsibility is divvied up here. That may not be at least the sole responsibility of a single home. It might also be a city responsibility too. But you'll see my white paint marking. That one we're looking at right here is the Y connection. Everything else is beyond that for the repair. There's an X at each end of that spot repair I have mapped out there, and we're about 6 feet to 6 feet 3 inches deep at each end of that. I do recommend that be updated. But given the age of the line, I would highly recommend looking into the cost difference there of doing a full update rather than to spot repair a line that's probably near 100 years old, because you're likely going to be dealing with it more in the future. So at this time, though, we have adequate flow to the main, and the line is functioning at this time. It's not functioning properly due to some issues going on there, but it is, for the most part, doing its job. I would definitely get a rescope done after any repair work is done, and most importantly, get a hold of the city and find out how they divvy up responsibility here. All the pipe prior to the clay pipe is in great shape. Everything from the first clean out to the second clean out all looks great. Pipe's in good shape and flowing nicely.